Hey, welcome to Trail Hops, and today we are going to talk shoes. So I've been running for a little over 10 years, and like any runner in that time, you can amass quite a collection of shoes, but also you'll change your running style and what you're looking for in a shoe over that time. So I kind of want to take today to talk about shoes I've owned and why I like or dislike some and see if they might work for you. So the first pair of shoes I ever bought for running was like in 2011. I was running a Tough Mudder, and I just went to like a big box store and bought running shoes. And they were just terrible. They were chunky, really thick sole, comfortable shoes. And I finished Tough Mudder, it was fine, but I had a lot of hip pain and knee pain, and I was like, done with running at that point. That's a story for another video about how I got back into running. But once I got into kind of minimalist running, went ahead and bought my first pair of minimalist shoes, which is Merrell's trail gloves. This is a awesome shoe if you're just getting into barefoot running. For me now, it still has too much sole on it. It's still too thick, but it was a great way to transition from like my old running style into barefoot running. It does still have that zero heel to toe drop, so it's a flat shoe. It's got protection for your feet, so you're not gonna, kick rocks or anything. So yeah, these are a really good way to get into barefoot running and kind of start to learn that style of running. After my Merrells, I heard about Vibram 5 fingers, and I of course had to get a pair. These are their kind of like basic pair. It's not the original, but it does have because it does have the covering on top to protect like rocks from going in. On really rocky trails, even though it's got the toe protectors, it still does hurt sometimes to like wedge a rock between your toes. But I do wear these on trail running. Again, this is kind of like a gradient scale of getting into like barefoot running, because this is like more mobility for your feet. Your toes can like move and react to the ground. You can definitely feel the ground a lot more in these. I still wear these quite a lot when I go running, even like in the city, just love wearing these. After that, I bought my first pair of Araches. These are from xeroshoes. It's their DIY kit. They'll send you just a square, or a rectangle, I guess, of vibram sole material, and you just size it to your foot, and you punch your laces and lace it yourself. These have seen probably 1,000 miles of running, and they're still going strong. A little bit of wear on the bottom, but they're terrific. I've run 50Ks in these in the winter, put weird looking socks on, and they do great. It was like kind of the really first time I could let my feet do what they wanted, kind of like expand as they run, and didn't feel any pressure from like having a shoe that's tight around your foot. And these are also great just for like going to the beach or going around town, and yeah, these are like my go-to sandals. In the course of my running career, I moved up to Frederick, and Frederick's got a ton of great trails. It's got the Appalachian Trail, Merrell Mountains, but those trails are really technical. A lot of rocks of different sizes, a lot of scree and things that you don't want to stub your toe on. So I wanted to get a trail shoe that had a little more protection while still maintaining minimalism. But I was on a budget, so I bought these. These were called Teslas, and probably for some legal reason they're now called TSLAs. These are on Amazon. These are super cheap, super flexible, and they're really, really great. Actually, I bought 2 pairs. The only issue is they don't last very long. This pair here I wore on Rick's Ultra Run in 2019, and after just 4 loops of that, it's like 20 miles of that trail, they were like just completely shot. The trail just ate right through them. They did great on that run, but they don't have a staying power, so kind of like you get what you pay for. Then I bought another pair of Araches. This was the also from xeroshoes. This is their True Feel sole, and actually I would kind of recommend the True Feel sole over the DIY kit. DIY is like super old school, and it's awesome because it looks like an Arache you might see around the world. These have a little more shape to them. They kind of hug your feet a bit better, and because they're factory cut, they just look a little bit cleaner. They look more appropriate for a sandal. But these are really comfortable, also really great for trail running. I've put a lot of miles on these, and they still got a lot of miles to go. And I am also gonna be punching a new pair, just for like a nicer pair to wear around town, and I'll show you guys how I punch those in a future video. But yeah, these are the shoes I have worn, kind of like from getting into barefoot running into full-on barefoot running, and it's just always a great idea to kind of see what fits your style, your comfort level, and work your way into it as you go. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and check back often for all things trails and beer. I didn't drink beer on this episode.
You did.
Just kidding.